All right, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the program. On the heels of what has been a pretty darn nice little bull run we've had here in cryptocurrencies, we are still holding strong. Leaders leading, laggards are even looking a little better. Pretty much everything's in an uptrend, and I don't know what else you can ask for right now. So BTC the past 24 hours or so has been up and held up pretty nicely. What you got, Monkeytron? Hey, what up, Mike? Actually, I'm missing a link here somewhere. ZS. Looks like it's got the right link. I'm not sure. Unless I didn't update it, which would suck. Alright, what up, Monkeytron? So I did make it a public show, guys. Just so you know. JV, what's up? Good morning. Alright, sorry about the link, Monkeytron. We'll get started. What's up, Aram? I made today a public power hour. Do it from time to time, so just public open to people. All right, so yeah, Bitcoin past 24 hours or so, and doing pretty good. Nice pop up right there the other day, holding up here. Ronin project, Ronin exploit. No, I haven't actually. If you got any information on that you want to post it, maybe we'll take a look at it later. So we've got yeah, our uptrend still firmly intact. No issue with this at all. Really a strong day for our leaders, which is really goes to show the strength of this market. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't show it right off the bat, but we're holding up above the 45,854. Hey, what up, B-dubs? Long time no see, bud. 600 million gone in ETH? Really? Oh, wow. I did not hear about that. That's pretty big. Guess you got to get those exploits under control. So Bitcoin up here, doing really good. I like the stability. The volumes turning out to be pretty good. Aggregation tool, you can see, shows quite a bit of accumulation. Lots of pocket pivots. Obviously, there's not a lot of red candles. That makes that a pretty easy job. RSI is getting towards extended territory, so maybe I see a couple of wicks up here, including today. Maybe we're going to get to a stall or a pause or some point. Still plenty of time of the week. It's only Tuesday, so anything goes at this point. Looks like buying pressure waning away just a little bit. Aggregation tool here also on the 2 hour shows selling pressure increasing slightly. Let's take a look around. Maybe this whole what up, English? Maybe this whole Ronin thing, 600 million gone in Ethereum, will affect the markets. Is that? I wonder if that's brand new. I'm not sure, but so far BTC doing pretty good. A small double top here. So far we haven't had too many bearish indicators at all. Most everything has been bullish support, and hopefully that continues. But we've gone quite a few days without having a red day. Usually, what, 6, 7, or 8 is about what you get. I think we've had 1 or 2 where there was like 9, but for the most part, you go past 6 or 7, you got to have a red day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so there's 9 before a little bit of kerfuffle. Then you start meandering up a little bit there. We are at, what are we at today? I'm not sure today will stay green. It's only up 0.54. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is day 8 if it closes green. You can't join live chat? What do you mean? Farhan can't join live chat for some strange reason. Okay. I don't know. Maybe just reset your window or something, Farhan. I got a lot of people in here, so I don't, not any widespread issues. I'm not sure. Yeah, that's a weird one. Try resetting or something. Log out, log in. I don't know. Okay, so BTC up here. Nice little double top. What up, George? Today's a live show, bud. So there's going to be more people in here than usual. Yeah, so Bitcoin little double top. We'll see what that leads to. Like I said, we haven't had a lot of bearish action. It's basically been one cup and handle after another cup and handle, at least in. So what we identified is coming out of, so we had the move off the low here, and then so here started our first cup and handle, and then you even had a potential broader cup and handle. I'll draw it for you guys on the. Actually, I can draw it on the daily. Yeah, I kind of agree with you on that one, Mike. So we had this is a very loose cup and handle right here. Very loose cup and handle into a broader cup and handle with your handle being right here. So here's one handle. Here's another handle leading us kind of in the middle of this larger uptrend. And that kind of started our run coming after two accumulation patterns in a very odd fashion. This is not normal, but the bottoming action holding 30K. We did have our follow through day, right? I believe that's the follow through day, right? Monkeytron, am I mistaken? No, it's this one. Yeah, that's our 0 day. So that was our follow through day. So that was our 0 day. That was our follow through day. And didn't undercut the 0 day, so been in a good uptrend ever since. 11 days until this distribution day falls off, so that's pretty good. You gotta like that. So uptrend in a very good spot so far. Really, really no issues with the uptrend thus far. Marcio, you're the best. Oh, thank you very much. Contribute by watching and liking anytime you show up. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I need to start doing more public content. I've just been stupid lazy. But so, I mean, in terms of follow-through day methodology, you have 4 distribution days. You go into a correction, and we only have 1 distribution day. So we're in a very good position from that perspective as well. But yeah, so it has been a bit of a long uptrend. We could be due a pullback. You never know what kind of shape it's going to take, and so we'll just kind of have to wait and see what it gives us. But I mean, so far we're not seeing any extraneous selling signals. No major volume up here in terms of topping action. This trend line holding up really, really well. Absolutely phenomenally. So if it breaks it, hopefully it breaks it in benign fashion. We go sideways through it, and then we'll be able to work it out. Or a higher low could maybe even drop down to the looks like 42,577. That would be kind of one of our earlier cup and handles as well, and maybe a curl up from there. This would be a nice place to put a base. There's lots of areas right there. We hit the 200 daily yesterday. I thought we may wick above it. All right, let's take a look at some moving averages. For George, for those of you that are in the power hour, we do have updated real moving averages, so you can. So we've actually added the Ichimoku conversion line and baseline to our moving average script. I think so. Sorry, still dealing with Farhan here. I'm not sure what's going on with Farhan. Just trying to help him out there. Okay, so yeah, if you go to the Power Hour page, you go down to Power Hour links and resources. Right there, you can get to Monkeytron's multiple moving average indicator. Oh, there you go, Farhan. Cool. Yeah, you can get that, and that is our updated indicator right here. So all your moving averages, and you can show Ichimoku as well if you want to. So let's bring in the moving averages. You said 50 and the 200. So if you guys don't know, we've got a multiple moving average indicator, which Monkeytron wrote, and saves us a lot of space on our trading view scripts here. It's pretty easy to do. All right, so where's the 200? Are you looking at the 200 EMA or something? We did cross over the MA, so that's the 200 MA. That's good. Yeah, that's 200 MA. I don't like that. That's a dumb color. Green's better. Okay, that's for the 50. So 50 is starting to curl up. 200 is flattened out. That actually doesn't put us in a bad spot in terms of moving averages either. I mean, we have a lot of room to go. Which trend line is that? It doesn't look to be a valid one. What's going on there? That's a weird one. Okay, so that's that trend line. Okay. Yeah, I've got the orange here, Mike. What do you got? I think so. 200 MA, unless no, looks right. I got so EMA 4, I can highlight that one. That's purple. That is you're still I'm not sure what you're wicking on. Maybe the 147? I don't have that on here. The MA I'll do the MA5 147. That should be akin to the 21 weekly moving average. For those of you that are unaware of that, if you want to get that um, on your daily 147. Maybe the one, yeah, maybe that was it, 21 weekly. But we're above everything right now. I mean, it's good territory. We're above a lot of resistance levels. So far, we're pretty stable up here, barring any major drop. Um, I mean, I think we're okay. We've looked really healthy since our follow through day. We've looked pretty good, and ever since this low in our cup and handles, we've been really good. So yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure, Mike. That's a weird one. So BTC good. We could be do some type of a pullback or stalling action at some point right now, but overall, I think the markets are doing really nice. So yeah. Hey, what's up, Wayne? Isn't it dumping now? It's moving down a little bit. Dumping's probably a little bit of a strong term. You know, you have to. I think you have to be a little bit careful with the terminology that you use. We just talked about we could be due a correction. We've gone up 7 days in a row, 8 if today closes green, which is pretty long in the tooth in terms of a rally. One negative to this rally is we're not, up here in the 50s. I think that would be a lot better if we had a very strong rally through. But some of these alts look like they're putting in some good rallies. We'll have to see what happens after we go into a correction or some type of a consolidation. Then you'll be able to tell how strong this rally is. It's been a nice rally. So just so you guys know, in the public that don't do the show, we've had like six alerts through this level, throughout this whole area about levels it needs to break, and it just was click 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 click, broke one after the other, zero problems. I mean, zero issues, and so now we're up here. And yeah, today does look like it's stalling out a little bit. Yesterday had a nice wick on it on elevated volume. Not a super good sign for the daily time frame. So some type of consolidation could be due. I mean, if you want to rip profits off the table and wait and come back, that's not the worst idea in the world. It's always good to protect profits. Better to have them than not. And it's easy to rebuy. It's hard to resell. So if you have some really good profits up here, if you're really worried about a big correction, make sure you have exit plans on the table, and that's going to vary per coin, obviously. So, all right, let's get to move on from BTC. A lot to talk about today. So in the Power Hour, we do have a newsletter, and I have a lot of coins on the newsletter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 USD pairs and 5 BTC pairs. BTC pairs still thin, which is a little bit weird. CoinGecko has it dropped from 600 in the past hour. Yeah, it's a $47,000 asset. 600 is not too bad. You're looking at like 1.5%. So it is a drop. And we did talk about a double top a little bit earlier during the show. So there was a double top on the 2-hour time frame. A little bit of an ominous signal. The good thing is the volume signatures are really low. Look at my volume aggregation tool that we have during the Power Hour. And you can see all this green implies the difference in buying and selling pressure. And we're still not even, we've printed like one super baby red candle. So very early selling pressure, if any at all right now. So I don't think you can really read too much into that yet. I mean, so far everything is still holding, I mean, in terms of the uptrend. So if you're selling up here, you're definitely forecasting. And so far selling tops hasn't been a fruitful effort. It will someday, but it hasn't been so far. All right, let's move on. So just so you guys know, this is the show that I do called the Power Hour. It's a subscription service for my website, real-crypto.com. We do the top 20 USD pairs every day, and then I pull out from our USD pair list, which has like 44 coins in it. So like the top 44 USD pairs that we kind of see, and then we go through the BTC pairs, and there's 200 BTC pairs. and I go through those every day and I pull out what I believe are valuable charts. So that's kind of what we do. So we're going to go through the top 20 right now. I just moved into the USD pairs for some reason. All right, so moving into Ethereum. Ethereum doing pretty good. I mean, still continuing up. This one not a double top. It went up. You can see higher volume here on ETH in this this last little up move there. So a little bit of distribution, slight declining pressure or volume on the way up, which means a little bit less buying pressure, but not bad. Ethereum's actually been pretty good. So this trend line can move right there. And that is our immediate uptrend right now. So the way this is topping out right now, we could go into some type of a sideways action or a correction, as we just talked about with BTC. So nothing too bad right there. Nothing yet. These are some early indications of some stalling / selling pressure. Stalling on BTC with the double top, which has now popped back up a little bit, and then Ethereum with a little bit, but nothing really knocking your socks off yet. Let's take a look at Hex. And Hex, a little bit of a down move out of this garbage up move that it's been in. And we'll see what happens with Hex. But nothing really amazing right there. Nothing to get too excited about. Next up is Binance Coin, which still isn't really doing anything, unfortunately, as Cake's doing pretty good. Double top here as well. We have a 425.70 alert level coming out of this large cup. And not doing a lot out of it. Volume really not good. It'll probably get going at some point, but not yet. Monkeytron says, no stupid questions. Feel free to ask anything. He likes it. That's actually true. I do like questions. So, damn. I actually do like questions, so feel free to ask anything. All right, next up is XRP. And XRP, wow, what chop in XRP in the past 24 hours. So this hasn't been the best performing coin. 8250 was our last alert level. Chopped out of that. Our volume was suspect. Yesterday, hey, what up, Mohammed? Yeah, it's been a while, man. Sorry about that. Yesterday, look at that big wick to the downside. A lot of selling pressure came in later in the day. And XRP lately just hasn't had the juice. So not a lot going on with XRP. All right, next up is Solana. And Solana with also a little bit of stalling action up here. Not too bad, though. On the 2-hour time frame, you can see right there. Hey, what's up, Aram? You got a chart, bud? That's the two. Then what did I have? I'll have to check. I'll have to check, Aram. Oh, thanks, Monkeytron. Didn't see your text earlier, bud. Okay, yeah, I'll check that out later. I'll check that out. Aram was just posting the 200 MA that he's got. So maybe mine's wonky. I don't know. I could have messed something up with the indicator. We'll double check that later. Thanks, Aram. But yeah, so Solana here, moving up a little bit. You can see the higher volume stalling candle right there. This is getting up to some rarefied air up here. 116. So we broke out of that declining trend line. Let me get rid of these moving averages for right now. All right, so I must have screwed something up. So we didn't quite get to that level on Solana, even the closes. So we got a little bit down to the closes. So that could be resistance right there with Solana. Solana has not been the leader that it used to be this whole entire time, unfortunately. So, yeah, I mean, hopefully we can base out here and continue on with this uptrend. It has been a really good uptrend, so a little bit of stalling action, a little bit of selling pressure isn't the end of the world. Not like it used to be on the way down here. Like when Solana was going through these right here, we had some alerts, but we noted how weak it was and how overall the market was weak. It's a different situation. The market right now seems very strong. And so some consolidation will take some bullishness out of the market and give us some more ammunition and room to go up. But Solana, no harm, no foul here yet. There is some stalling pressure, though. XTZ, yeah, I could take a look at XTZ when I do USD pairs later. I got a ton of USD pairs I'll make a secondary list on my. By the way, I do timestamp these videos, everyone, not in real time, but afterwards, when we're done, I record when I talk about things, and I put the timestamps on the video so you can reference back later if you missed a coin or wanted to see something, or for those watching later. All right, so next up is Cardano. And Cardano a little bit choppy. 156 alert level. Cardano had a massive move out of the lows. We had some really, really good talks and alerts on Cardano. We talked about, and some of us bought Cardano down here about 80 cents. And then subsequently, we had an alert at 863 and a recent one at 156 breaking through this trend line right there. But you could see some stalling action yesterday with a higher volume red candle with some good wick action. And the volume aggregation tool is showing some selling pressure, but the buying pressure actually catching up, which is good. Cardano is an interesting coin. It has been a huge dog this whole, I mean, ever since it went live with the smart contract fork up here. I think it was like right there. It dumped right before it, tried to bounce back, and really, I think it was that day, September 12th or somewhere around there. It's just been an absolute dog, but showing better price action lately. And some fundamental things happening with Cardano. One thing we look at a lot during the show is total value locked. And you can see with Cardano, so lately it's been stagnant, but the move up in TVL with Cardano during that run was tremendous. And so we look at total value locked quite a bit when it comes to coins that have DeFi influences. And Cardano is starting to have DeFi influences. So you can see here nice and sideways action on Cardano as it's failed to move up. So it's starting to have a lot of the signatures we've seen with a lot of coins that are strictly DeFi. And okay, next up is Luna. And Luna had a buy signal during the show yesterday, as a matter of fact, coming out right there. Some of us took that trade, have been rewarded. Nice move up, really good volume stepping into Luna. And this is kind of an interesting coin. This is almost a counter trade indicator. When things tend to go sideways to down, Luna tends to go up. And I'm not sure if it was Mike or Monkeytron yesterday that was talking about, is that a good sign that Luna's going up? And we see a little bit of stalling action in the markets today. So Luna's a double-edged sword. It obviously doesn't only go up when the market goes down. But if you're not familiar with these price behaviors, that's something that we really pay attention to during the show that we do a good job of keeping up with. So if you're not familiar with Luna and that price behavior, you're not paying enough attention to the top coins. All right, next up is AVAX. And AVAX, this has just been, yeah, it was you, Monkeystron? Okay, cool. Yeah, AVAX has not been performing with TVL lately ever since, when was it? I don't know. I don't remember. But at least up in this area, TVL's been pretty sideways with AVAX, and it's been resulting in sideways price action. So curling up a little bit here, 87.61. That was our last alert level right there, and we've been really choppy since then. Let's take a look at AVAX's TVL. Really just sideways. In Luna, we didn't look at it with Luna. All right, there you go. Luna with TVL going up. So TVL is an indicator. If you guys aren't using it, you should be. It's a good indicator for some of these. It's not everything, but it's pretty good. You can see in AVAX is one that is a little bit confusing if you are using TVL as a secondary indicator. You can see here sideways to a downtrend, but lately you've had some upward pressure with AVAX, and this is market pressure. This isn't TVL pressure, which is why it's not running in the same way that Luna just popped and some other ones were running, like Cardano. All right, so AVAX, 87.61. I don't have a new alert level. That's actually still buyable from that alert level, but that I'm not really happy with all of the action in AVAX. This can get going at any time, though. This was our market leader for a long time. All right, next up is Doge. And Doge broke a couple alerts, but you can see a little bit of risk off behavior here. An H pattern, as a matter of fact. Couldn't even get back up to the highs. This was just an absolute dog, and then started moving up with the market. Doge not a leader. Don't follow it too close. It looks like we are coming back to the 1405, though. That was our last alert level. We'll see if that double bottom holds or not. That could be something, but I don't know. Most of us aren't doing too much with Doge. It's not a leading token, so hard to be really happy about it. Very few leading tokens these days. Next up is DOT. 2136 was the last alert level. Doing pretty good. DOT's interesting. Doing pretty good. had it's had a decent uptrend. 1953, that was our kind of cup breakout, cup and handle breakout, whatever you want to call it. And stalling up here at recent highs. You know what? That's going to be my next alert level. That's actually a nice pivot point. Even going back there, 2320. So if you guys don't know, we also have alerts in the power hour, and those are served through Slack. And everyone thank Paul for the alerts. 2320. Make that adjustment for DOT. DOT. There you are. All right. Next up is Shiba. Shiba up 1.5 today. Pretty choppy. Got through the alert level. Got through a couple of them actually. Late mover. Shiba tends to be a late mover. At least lately. It had this beautiful pump here early. It went with, I think, XRP, if I'm not mistaken. But just neither of them could just do anything, and they've just been stuck in this garbage downtrend. So going up with the market, but definitely not a leader. No reason to harp on that one. Next up is Matic, which has been choppy at best. It's definitely been in an uptrend, but kind of hard to feel good about holding. So 0.9% today. This is a layer 2. If you guys hadn't noticed, they've been eating the layer 1 coins. Those are the ones that they've had the appetite for. Layer 2's not yet. Maybe at some point. I'm hoping this will be a good cycle and good opportunities for multiple sectors to run like we had back when we had layer 1s, layer 2s, and then gaming NFTs and metaverse tokens. That's what happened last cycle. I'm hoping we'll get to that, but not yet. Next up is CRO. Cannot alert on this coin. Chopping a little bit, nothing too bad. It's been in a pretty good uptrend. Holding level right now. If we hold this trend line, that would be amazing. Nice little declining situation. A little bit of selling pressure coming in. The volume aggregation tool showing a lot of selling pressure popping up. RSI decreasing, but not to a bad place. Looks like we found support at 50 recently. And so we could bounce out of this. That would be really nice if that were to happen for holders of CRO. Big picture wise, you see the volume diminishing in a spectacular fashion, actually. So we'll see how far this can go. But it's kind of hard to get a hold of CRO unless you're on some of these. I guess it's on Coinbase. That's not too hard to get a hold of. Do you ever have a problem with TradingView when doing multiple chart display as you are now? That only the chart on the left shows your trend lines and other drawings. Yeah, so Ryan, I don't have a problem with that, but there's a setting for that. So what you do is up here, you go to the top bar, and you can see there's this select layout next to the cloud. Click on that, and on the bottom here, you can toggle your drawing. So that's what you're missing. So I have my symbols. I have my symbols connecting, my crosshair connecting. You see my crosshairs moving on both charts. My drawings are connected on both charts, and I really like that. But I don't have my interval because I have the daily on the right and the 2 hour on the left. And obviously I don't have my time, which probably I should, but I don't really change my time. So, but yeah, so that's what you're looking for. Next to the cloud, click on that, and then symbol, crosshair, and drawing. That's how I have it set. That should straighten you out, bud. Absolutely. Oh, that's weird. All right, so there's CRO. Next up is Litecoin. And Litecoin's been doing pretty good lately. Not knocking your socks off, kind of pacing Bitcoin a little bit, having a day or two here and there, holding this trend line really well. It's doing a really good job with that. A few wicks here and there, we can try to adjust for that, but I'll just hold it there for right now. Definitely not a leader, but it's moving up with the rest of them. Litecoin just has not been the same coin. I think what this shows is the market proves that it just wants Bitcoin. Doesn't care about anything else. Litecoin, Dash, all of them have dropped significantly in market cap, even though they perform similar functions and are all equally probably as good in terms of security and such. All right, next up is Atom. And I'm not moving over to my timestamp for some reason. All right, next up is Atom. Atom, choppy out of the 2915. Just really not doing anything. This is a layer 1. We'll probably have its day at some point. If we do get a consolidation coming in the next couple days or whatnot, we'll see how Adam handles it. Maybe it'll be moving up in the next cycle, but so far it really hasn't done anything. Chainlink. Chainlink also hasn't done a whole lot. Moved out a little bit from the 1544, but again, look at the volume, just nothing. Chainlink is not the point it once was. If you're holding a lot of Chainlink, hoping it's going to go back to all-time highs, I wish you the best. Right now, it's not showing any symptoms of being any type of a leader. Maybe it will at some point. GRT is in the same industry group, and actually we have GRT later in USD pairs, but it's not participating, or Link is not participating in the way that GRT is. This is so big in market cap, and it really shouldn't be up here. Coins that should not be in the top 20. Let's talk about it. Doge, Shiba, Crow, probably Chainlink. And I like Chainlink. It's just market cap for what it does is too much. It's not a layer 1. Next up is Tron. All right, next up is Tron. Has been in a nice little uptrend since our inverted head and shoulders breakout. 06290 was the alert level. Pretty good moves up. Definite stalling day yesterday. You see additional distribution today. We talked about the market could be getting to a point where we need to see some selling pressure, and you started to see it late yesterday and overnight. And Tron, this is a good example. This is a really exaggerated wicks. So we'll see how this goes. You're never quite sure when you get a pullback or a consolidation how it's going to work out, but hopefully this time it's pretty benign. All right, let's kind of wrap up the top 20 USD. This is where we just go over what we've just looked at more in depth. Yeah, so top 20 USD looks like we could be in a bit of a stalling behavior. Right now we've had plenty of green days in a row to the point where there could be selling pressure stepping in. People take profits all the time. Once you're up many days in a row, people take more profits. One negative to the market, if this is all we get out of 7 or 8 up days, it's a little bit, it's not as much as you would like. I'll just say that. It's probably not as much as you would like. Maybe the last time we had 6 or 7 was maybe right there. And you can see this was not a bad consolidation, led to some follow through. Hopefully something like that. We're not really near highs. We're in a good point where I honestly think I would like to see, and obviously the market doesn't really care what I think, but I would like to see a chart pattern here. Because you have to keep in mind what a chart pattern is. A chart pattern is constructive action. A chart pattern is not, I was right, this is a top. A chart pattern is not random action. A chart pattern is purposeful action. The reason why chart patterns are around and people can actually make some money with them is because they are human buying and selling pressure personified on a graph. That's all it is. It doesn't matter the chart pattern, okay? That's why people look for chart patterns, because it's accumulation and distribution patterns is what it is. And so I think a chart pattern would be really good because it would essentially quantify the bullish action here in a good way. A distribution day wouldn't even be an issue. Yeah, no, I don't think a distribution day would be an issue. I mean, when you're talking about a correction, I think you would assume a distribution day. I mean, we could easily eat one distribution day, and within 11 days, I mean, probably 2. I hope we don't get 3 distribution days. Or, I'm sorry, I hope we don't get 2 distribution days. 1 distribution day would be amazing, as a matter of fact. 2 distribution days wouldn't be a deal breaker, but you wouldn't want to see it because then you're on the cusp of going into a correction. So 11 days in, say we get a distribution day in the next 1 or 2 days, and then, we get a benign action. Then we're into Friday and Saturday. So that's going to be what, like 6 days? So we got 6 days left. We'll see where we're at then. I mean, I don't like to forecast too far ahead, but I mean, even if we just go sideways here a little bit, then pop up, that would be obviously even better with no distribution days. That would be a really, really strong rally. And I got to say, I mean, the market's pretty strong already with only 1 distribution day. And then even through all of this action, not printing a second one. So pretty good stuff. I mean, I think we had a follow through day here. We moved into a correction here. It was a pretty quick turnaround, Market wasn't as strong as it appeared with the follow through day. And then going back into a correction, then back immediately almost into a follow through day. And then back into an uptrend. So the market flip-flop down here which is fine. That's what chop does to you. But the ability to come back is good. Now, breaking alerts, we want to see stability or constructive action. And I think that's the takeaway of today, is if we're going to go into some type of a correction, we need to see a constructive correction. Yeah, Mike wants a nice downward channel. Yep, I mean, that would be nice. A nice downward channel will probably get us no distribution days if it was a nice downward channel. I mean, look at if this is our topping signal, like if this is our topping signal right now, yeah, let's top right now. That's amazing, because we'll consolidate for like 15 minutes and then rally back on through. We probably won't even break this trend line if that's our topping signal. Like, look at this topping signal. It's stupid. It's the dumbest topping signal of all time. A weak double top, weak volume right there, aggregation tool. I mean, right now I think the bulls still have control. Yeah, I think green is still on top, red's on the bottom. So, I mean, our size at extended levels, that bodes to some type of a consolidation / correction. So, all in all, good stuff. Can't complain here. Absolutely can't complain. All right, let's move on. Aave. Another one of our early picks, Cardano and Aave, two of our early picks in the show, in the power hour back at the lows. Down here, we identified Aave due to a downward sloping channel, high volume bottoming action here, unable to move lower during this flat time right there, and then three very beautiful volume signatures down there, and then just good price action all around. And you're rewarded with a gorgeous day today, up 25%, extending further into new highs. Well, not new highs, but recent highs. In a blockbuster day today. This is what we wanted to see 100%. Now we're moving into a little bit of a trend line right there. We'll see what happens. So we're 40 minutes into this candle. We're definitely not going to see that type of an action, but as long as we can stay stable up here, all good. It's obviously too extended to buy up here. You don't want to buy up here. That's asking for trouble, but just a tremendous extension from Aave. So Cardano and Aave moved up together. Cardano hasn't done this yet. It'd be nice if it would. Don't know if it's going to. Cardano and Aave obviously do different things, so it's not like they're peers in any way, shape, or form. But they wanted Cardano early. They wanted Aave early. Uni started looking good, which is arguably in a similar sector to Aave, but it just hasn't participated yet. We have an alert on it. I'm not even sure if it's triggered. So, so we had a little move there, 159.10. Look at how nicely that held. That alert level, bam, almost on the nose. Retest, uptrend, and then boom, a blast off out of the middle of nowhere. So you just literally can't ask for more than that on Aave. Guys, if you don't subscribe to the Power Hour, write this down. Stick with early leaders, okay? Stick with early leaders. Aave, Cardano. Even if Cardano doesn't work and you stick with it, it's not a bad trade, okay? Some of your better trades don't make the most money in the market. Some of them do. Aave is going to be one of those trades for those that are following that lesson. And it's a good lesson. And it works cycle after cycle. Cycle after cycle. The early leaders win. Sometimes the early leaders shift. And if you, that's one thing we're really good at doing during the show, is identifying shifts during different legs of bull runs. That's one thing we really try to do good on. All right, so Aave blockbuster, can't buy it up here, but no issues with it. I mean, extending up is really good. So what you're hoping for at this point is stability. And if Aave is going to have, I don't know if it's going to have a full-blown return, but look at the volume signature it's printing. Really high volume on the way up here. Even more volume today. So you don't want this to be too high volume. Hopefully we can actually slow our volume roll a little bit, because you don't want a volume candle that's too big like this. There's no ammunition left if you print that. It's like unloading your M16 instead of just going, in spurts. All right, next up is Bitcoin Cash, which, yes, I'm sorry to be talking about Bitcoin Cash again, but it has a cup and handle. So what am I going to do? Not talk about it? It does have a cup and handle. The volume signature is wrong, so we'll see what happens. Bitcoin Cash has been a huge piece of garbage, but a cup and handle is not a huge piece of garbage. So I'm neutral on Bitcoin Cash right now, 386.40. I believe this is an active alert level. Let me double check. Yep, it is. Okay. So 386.40 for Bitcoin Cash. Next up is Pancake Swap. You feel dirty. I don't, yeah, I feel a little dirty too. Next up is Pancake Swap. Doing really good from our 701. This one had a beautiful pop up here and then went on to form a nice little cup and handle type of a thing. And it's just been in an interesting little uptrend. Pancake Swap is on Binance Smart Chain. And that's why we're talking earlier. Hopefully, Binance Smart Chain can get going because it hasn't, and Pancake Swap has. And this is the main, this is where all of its volume comes from. Let's take a look at TVL for Pancake Swap. And it's curling up a little bit, not very dramatically, but if it keeps on that trajectory, this could be a winner. Look at the daily time frame. Aggregation tool is amazing. Look at the gap. So if you guys don't know what the volume aggregation tool is, so this is something I developed actually, and you get it with the power hour, but it does, it aggregates the buying pressure in the green line and the selling pressure in the red line over a 20 day period or 20 bar period in the 2 hour time frame. And so it kind of shows you, you can get a similar feel with the accumulation distribution. I think it's this one. Yeah, so you can get a similar feel with this accumulation distribution, but it's not quite the same. I wanted to spread out the buying from the selling. I wanted to see when selling was increasing because this just adds and subtracts from the same line. So this one is two different lines. So shows you a little bit of a different spurt. You can see selling pressure stepping in. These pluses here, these are what are called pocket pivots. These are I always have a hard time explaining pocket pivots because it's a little bit confusing. Anyway, so pocket pivot is just an early accumulation signal. A big volume signature is what it is essentially. So you can see here Pancake Swap doing pretty good. 2 pocket pivots here. 1 negative pocket pivot, not leading to a lot, but the volume aggregation tool is showing you really good price action on Pancake Swap. Lots of accumulation. And as you saw, the accumulation distribution was straight up as well. No alert, as this is already pretty extended from our $7 level. Yeah, 24%. So you're looking for corrections. That's when we'll add alerts. All right, next up is Filecoin. And Filecoin, we had an alert at 2560 out of a pretty nice bull flag yesterday. It's been a little bit choppy, performing okay. I think stick with it. Keep your stop in place if your stop's down here. Yeah, it's about a 4.5-5% stop loss. That's not too bad. Could give it as much as 6.5%. This is not in a sector that's in vogue at all. But, oh, was that you? You? Yeah, if I remembered that was you, I would have already said it. Okay, so you have to understand what I do, okay? I think that, I think some people that I know I'm not that active on YouTube anymore, but I tell the truth, okay? That's really what I try to do. I try to tell the truth. I don't sugarcoat anything. And, yeah, if it's capitulation, I'm going to say it because it's important. Capitulation's important. So we haven't said it because we haven't had one lately. But yeah, so Filecoin good, 2560. Going good so far. This is not part of a leading sector. It just kind of popped on its own. So, yeah. I can do an obligatory capitulation call out later. I haven't thought about that for a while, though. Actually, no, last time we talked about capitulation, probably about a week ago, we talked about good market signals. And capitulation is a good market signal, so we had that. But anyway, Filecoin, yeah, look at the volume on Filecoin. So it's not in a leading sector. So Filecoin is in the same as Siacoin. I'm not sure if that's I think it's Siacoin, but I know. Anyway, not gonna go too deep into that, but yeah. So. But, I mean, just fantastic volume, and it stayed consistently big. So I think this definitely has a possibility to continue. You usually don't want to buy 5% out from a buy point, so this is a little bit extended. If you want to, just make your stop a little bit wider. So if you want to buy it now, your stop's got to be about 10.5, 11%. So trend line could act as resistance going forward, but I really like the volume signature on Filecoin. We have a lot of good volume signatures stepping into this market. You cannot ignore that. All right, next up is GRT. And GRT last alert was 4294. Doing really well. Actually bounced right off of that. I thought this was interesting because this isn't the best alert level. And you can see it definitely chopped right through it. This actually could have been a cup and handle. I think my alert level stopped me from seeing it. So there's your cup, there's your handle, and it should have found support there, but it came down and tested the other resistance level here, which is where my alert happened to be. So that was an interesting place for it to go. So it's a little weak. You see this handle pulled in a little bit deep. This should have stopped here, but it didn't. It went back to the other support. So a little bit weak there for GRT. And remember, we talked about that with Filecoin as well. So we shall see. Randy, you know this is a scam market. I don't know that, Pepsi. It used to be a scam market. If it turns into it again, we'll follow it when it turns into a scam market. But you're forecasting something that hasn't happened yet. It used to be a scam market. Some of the moves you're seeing are real. Some of the moves you're seeing are real moves. So yeah, it just is what it is. And the market can scam you at any time. It's not that it can't not scam you. It's not that this market's impossible of being scammed. But saying it's a scam market is limiting what you're capable of doing. If this market completely flips on you, you will be unaware. You will not be able to stay with it because you formed an opinion. You're convinced this is a change of behavior. Yeah, a little bit. So let me, that's a great question. Let me timestamp that. Okay, so very good question. Pepsi has a great question. You can still trade scams. Yeah, exactly. Is it a change in behavior? Let me tell you why I say it's not 100%. I'll give you that. I don't think it's 100% change in behavior, but yes, there has been a change in behavior. And you have to keep in mind too. Let's yeah. This is good. Let's okay. Let's go ahead and graph human psychology. You ready? So here's human psychology in terms of the markets. You know, on the way down, you're like, oh, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done, it's done. Boom! Oh, we're a bull again. This is how the market does it. Market comes down, comes up, and does this. So by the time you go full bull, I'm not saying you, Pepsi, but just general, we're already up here. So this is the person, this is their psychology with all of our little limited brains, and this is the actual, price graph, right? So you've bottomed down here when everyone still thinks we're going lower, right? And then by the time you have one base, a consolidation, and then everyone's super bullish, then people get bullish, then the market has a big correction, and then goes out. So in this cycle, so everyone's probably, I think, here. And actually, Monkeytron yesterday said fear and greed was it 60 Monkeytron? I think it was. So, and we're probably, I don't know, here or here, something like that. We have had a bit of a change in behavior. Let me show you what I mean. Okay. So when you look at Bitcoin, and I'm going to use some of my tools because it's just how I view the market. Okay, so you look at our follow through day signals. Okay, so these are our follow through day signals. I can't remove any of them. Okay, so this was a follow through day. What a follow through day is, a follow through day tells you that, hey, the market has some accumulation in it. We've bottomed and there's a really good possibility we go up. Okay. So we had a follow through day. We tried to rally through. We couldn't do it. This was our day that put us into a correction. So stay with us. Uptrend, downtrend. Okay. It was a full retracement. That's definitely a scam market. And then we kind of loosely did it again. Okay. We came over. We had a follow through day here, as a matter of fact. And then what happened is we didn't scam. We only have one distribution day. Keep in mind, you need 4 to go into a correction. We only have 1. Okay, so that's a very good sign. We had an opportunity to go lower here, and we held up pretty much every low. So the way the follow through day system works, this blue line, if you undercut this blue line, you go back into a correction instantly. So we held it, which isn't the end all of signals, okay, but we held it here, and we moved back up simultaneously to Bitcoin holding lows. All right. Now, it's not all about Bitcoin, but simultaneous to Bitcoin holding lows, you had Cardano forming bottoming signatures here. Okay. Which we had during the show. All right. We had bottoming signatures here and we started moving up and volume got pretty good. Simultaneous to that, you had waves. Actually, a little bit earlier than that. Waves throwing in just blockbuster volume. Here's your scam market, which actually ended up being a bottoming formation, which actually started the bottoming, right? So let's take a look at waves for a second. Waves was a leader in the last market cycle. We didn't really follow it that much because it's waves, and waves usually sucks. But waves changed. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but they did change. Look at this downtrend. Look at how this downtrend was handled. Very professionally. Not a lot of distribution. Okay? And then you move into high volume. Look at this. High volume signature, no downside progress. You have one leg down on this volume. Okay? Because that's your low. Look at that volume. What does it do? Puts in a crap ton of other volume, and then what does it do? Breaks out. And then it breaks out on monster volume. So that is a definite change in behavior. So you're not only seeing Bitcoin hold lows, you're seeing altcoins put in, some of them, really extraordinary volume signatures, unbecoming of their typical behavior. Aave is another one of them. And now these aren't the ones that are always leading you, but Aave had a bit of a mixture. So this is the same bottoming signature like Cardano, and again, blockbuster volume here like waves. This is kind of a hybrid of the two. So where before you weren't getting any of that, not really. Now you had some here, right? You had a little bit of that here, but this isn't as good of a bottoming signature. It's not as flat. Look how flat this is compared to this action. This is a lot more undulation. This is not controlled. This is controlled. And then you've got boom, 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 nice bull flag. And today you're rewarded with a 30% day. But the whole point of the matter is, it's not that everything is printing beautifully. It's not that Bitcoin is at 60K, but there is a change in behavior. There is a change in behavior. Can it flip? I think it can flip. It's possible. What we talked about earlier was that I would like this to be higher. This should be a little bit higher, right? But what I'm hoping that we get now, and I saw your comment, but I haven't read it yet. What I'm hoping happens here is some constructive price action. Okay? We don't know what it's going to take. If we just move up from here, that's going to be very bullish into what I was just referring to. I wish we were upwards towards 50. But if we do something in this area that is constructive price action, that bodes very well for us going up and testing upwards here, and we'll see what happens when we get up here. Once this history prints itself, we'll kind of know what's going on. We'll know if we're set up for much higher prices or if we're going to roll over. So, but I mean, the moves that have come out have been dramatic. Our leaders have been leading. I've seen enough bull and bear markets to know that this has been, and we talked about this like a week ago. Like, guys, this looks like a really, really good market. Okay. So you have to be able to go with the ebb and the flow. I don't always get it right. I'm going to say it. I'm not perfect. But we do a pretty darn good job. And this is a good market. This is a good market. All right, what you got? You make some good points, but we all know NFTs are garbage. You don't think that market is going to catch up to that. I don't care about NFTs. I could give two shits. I haven't mentioned NFTs once. I haven't mentioned Metaverse once. I've talked about leading coins and price action. I don't care about the hype at all. So that's about it. Sometimes scams go wrong and turn into a real thing. Yeah, like crypto. Crypto's kind of a real thing in of itself. But I really don't care at all about NFTs. I don't care less. Really, I don't think I've ever owned an NFT. I don't think I have an NFT. I issued some NFTs to some people in a course that I gave, but that was about it. So, yeah, I don't care. So let me answer that NFT question like this. How can NFTs catch up? And if they're garbage, what does that look like? Well, what does NFTs failing look like? No one buys them. So NFTs failing, meaning all these NFT bag holders just can't offload their NFTs. It doesn't mean that they sell a bunch of Bitcoin. That's not what an NFT market failure looks like. So in both situations, it's irrelevant. It's absolutely irrelevant. So you're letting yourself get caught up in the hype. And yeah, NFTs are garbage. Yeah, they're useless and pointless and stupid, but it doesn't matter. If you're trading the markets and price action leaders and quality coins, who gives a shit? So also NFTs being garbage looks like ETH and ERC20 tokens crashing. Why? Why does that look like those crashing? I don't believe that's the case. NFTs are garbage or people holding garbage. That's all it is. It's just so if I buy an NFT and the market goes to shit and I try to offload it, I just can't. I just can't. It doesn't mean that people are selling Ethereum. You have to probably keep in mind this, and this may be something good to look as well. How big is the NFT market versus the DeFi market? And actually, we have a tool for that a little bit because DeFi Llama added NFTs. So let's go to overview here. So let's take a look at DeFi total value locked with all of them is $173 billion. Let's look at NFTs. $20 billion. So let's say the scammy NFT market goes away. What happens? Well, first of all, looks like they've already figured out it's stupid. And I agree with you. I'm not saying I completely agree with you that I think most NFTs suck. But I mean, if you look at if all of this is to be believed, and I don't know, maybe it's not. This is OpenSea, I think, right? Is that OpenSea? Yeah, it's OpenSea. So on the Ethereum blockchain. So this may be somewhat representative. I don't know how accurate it is. I'm not sure. You can do your own research on that. But if this data is to be believed, you go from 20 billion to 173 billion. It's like 11%. And actually, if you add them together, it's probably less than 10. It's about 10%. It's going to be about 10% of the overall marketplace. So could it be an event if NFTs just shrink up and shrivel up? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to matter, to be quite frank with you. I don't care about NFTs. So, but again, this goes back to what I said earlier. Well, I don't think I said this. You can't control that. Okay? You can't control what happens with NFTs. Maybe another bull market comes along. Who knows? And you're caught off guard. You can control what you can see in the charts. And this is the whole point. The whole point is that you can't control anything except for your own account, and you can control how you perceive the market action. That's all you can control. That's it. So by letting all this noise into your thought process, it's going to cloud your judgment, period. It's just going to cloud your judgment. It's not going to give you any sort of an edge. All right. Onward and upward. Next up is USD pairs and waves. Waves. I used to hate waves. Now I love waves. Waves was a huge piece of garbage, and then it turned into really good coin over here and leadership. Look at this volume on waves. Looks like a kind of an early stage market. Could have a big correction like this at some point, but if it bounces back, you got nice opportunities to get in. One or two good opportunities to get in there. We'll see what happens. Waves with a blockbuster day today up 15%. Yesterday was also blockbuster. Let me go actually. Okay, so this could be a topping candle for waves. Very high volume signature. 7 hours left to go. And a kind of a muted candle right here. So there's some selling pressure. Whereas yesterday, the breadth of this candle, let's go the overall breadth, was about, no, XTZ is up in 4 coins. 4 coins, Bitcoin. 40% yesterday. And today it is 25%. And it already has almost double volume. So there is some distribution in waves right now. Aggregation tool doesn't really show it that much though. So let's see what happens. Wow. Dang, that is aggressive. Look at that. Okay. All right, so trendline break. this is not so bad. Maybe we'll get a second leg. So yesterday I brought my trend lines back in. Yesterday we had a measured move on waves up to here, and we've already hit that. So that's pretty bonkers. Um, if you want to sell a little bit of waves, I'm not mad at it. If you think we could go higher, there's a possibility of that. The 2 hour time frame not showing as much topping action. So very intriguing price action here. If you're looking at Pi method exits, that could be one. Volume isn't that substantial though, so I don't know. Waves is a mixed bag here. You don't have super clear topping signals yet, but that is obviously now one thing we talked about yesterday was this is a base on base pattern breakout, and we already hit the measured move. Man, that's aggressive. Wow. Okay, so if this doesn't fall and turn to garbage, and keep in mind what the market's doing, right? If the market's still solid, waves may consolidate or something and may have another leg up. This could be $100 coin. Could absolutely be $100 coin if this isn't a topping signature. And so we'll probably know by the end of the day if we're stable or have a small correction up here or not. So if you want to take a little bit of profits off the table, I can't blame you for that on waves. And I think I'm going to throw an alert on it because we may have topped ourselves out. It'll be a little bit high, but that's okay. 54.59. Look at our first alert on this run was 1954, and we even had it down here. I think I just deleted most of them. I try to keep the chart a little clean. So another good thing about waves is that it's a low market or high market cap. Low market cap? It's yesterday it was ranked 44 when we looked at it. I don't know what it's at today. But what's it at? What is it at today? What's that one? Oh, volume monitor. Okay. Only 42? Really? Wow, still has a long way to go. Freaking ape coin. Sandbox, AXS, EGLD. So Waves is a layer 1, EGLD is a layer 1. VeChain, HBAR. So yeah, I think this could definitely at least get up towards the 30 part. So yeah, if you want to sell some, cool, but don't be afraid to get back into Waves. New alert 54.59. Next up is ZIL, XTZ, in 4 coins still. Next up is ZIL. And some of these just updated alert levels. ZIL with the 11113 alert level, just kind of trying to keep pace with ZIL. Again, monster volume on ZIL. Monster volume. Maybe too much volume, but it's there. So it's holding tight. We're going to stay with it until it fails. All right, next up is Rune. Oh, it's down here. Duh. And kind of missed Rune a little bit yesterday with everything that was going on with it. But 9601 worked. I should have had an alert right there, but I didn't. And a nice pop today on Rune. So Rune looking pretty good. Aggregation tool looking pretty good. Rune's been a good mover out of lows. And, oh, thanks, Loopy. Appreciate that. So Rune getting back up towards here. We talked about it getting to the trend lines, getting there. Taking a sweet-ass time and doing it in an awkward fashion, but it's doing it. And XNO. All right, XNO, one we recently saw is a new Binance coin and a 2644 alert level in a cup and handle. Beautiful little cup and handle. If I remember correctly, this is a layer 1, and the market is buying layer 1s like it's going out of style right now. All the ones we just saw. Rune, ZIL, Waves. Okay, I guess those 3. Yeah. So yeah, 2644. Haven't looked at algo. We'll do that after XTZ. All right, XTZ, request for XTZ, and I think the comment was, is this not the most garbage or most underperforming or underwhelming coin there is? Kind of. Yeah, XTZ really hasn't done much. This is also a layer 1. I think this is still in the 30s in terms of market cap ranking. It's still up here somewhere, XTZ. Oh, 47, never mind. I guess it hasn't performed very well. Which is why, yeah, we haven't really talked about XTZ in a long time. So there's one thing. So again, you got to keep in mind, I go through hundreds of charts a day, and I try to pull out the best ones. Haven't pulled this one out. It just hasn't. I've thought about it once or twice, but it just never really formed the signatures. Um, ETC, I did miss your question. We'll talk about that after algo. So, yeah, see, this isn't a leader. It's not a top coin. It doesn't have extreme volume signatures. It's not one I'm interested in. Could it have good price behavior? Absolutely, but it's not a top coin. So I don't really do much with it. Doesn't yeah, like I said, this like the bottoming's pretty good. Pretty tight right here with everything else. It's just nothing is extreme about it. Nothing's extreme about it. Wave's extreme, Cardano extreme. Um, there were some extreme coins. Luna was extreme when it was doing good. So I try to stay with those extreme ones. Algo, Algo. Yeah, this one also again just not an extreme coin. Um, Not doing too bad. I mean, it does have some increasing volume signatures here. Just really hasn't been. I mean, you had other layer ones that were doing better than Algo, so I just never highlighted it. Yeah, I just it's just normal. It's just I don't do normal very well. I mean, I can, but I can only highlight so many coins per day. Yeah, it's okay. Next up is Ethereum Classic, and Ethereum Classic did have some abnormal volume action. I mean, this is a bit abnormal. Could it happen? I'm not sure about that. What we learned about Ethereum Classic during this run was that it was essentially a gamble on people not wanting to move to proof of stake and wanting to keep proof of work. Because Ethereum Classic is proof of work. And so if that's something you're into, then here you go. Proof of work run on Ethereum Classic. But the amount of dApps, and I haven't looked at it lately, but the amount of dApps on Ethereum Classic is like zero. Everyone's on Ethereum. No one's on Ethereum Classic. And I'm not going to go too deep into it, but it has done pretty good. We had an alert here at 37.47. Had a really good kind of an early bull flag. So I didn't fault it from that perspective. The action has been pretty good on it, but lately just really that's really where it should have followed through from. And it's just really kind of has been unable to follow through. A little bit of lackluster performance. Volume is still good. It'll probably get a secondary pop at some point. And when you zoom out, kind of had a range here it was forming. Maybe it'll go up to that range and stall at the 77 level, which would be a good percentage gain. Yeah, 62. So, I mean, you can see we were following it. Had a nice symmetry here. And we talked about the symmetrical triangle here. And then a nice bull flag right there. And obviously that's exactly what it's going to do. All right. I think that was it for USD pairs in terms of requests. Okay. Next up is, and if you guys have any follow-ups on those, feel free to shout them out. Next up is Aave on BTC pairs. And Aave looks like just continuing to go today. So we haven't actually touched on Aave versus BTC for a few days here. Last time we looked at it, I think it was down here towards the low, right there. Yeah, I think it was right down there. We were a little bit choppy. We haven't touched it. We didn't touch on it yesterday. But kind of a straight up move from Aave. Just an amazing move. Volume a little bit lower on the BTC side, but not doing too bad. If you want to take extreme profits up here, wait for some type of a shorter term topping signal. Moving up in lower volume on the 15-minute here could be a bit of a problem. You see great volume here and then lackluster volume here. So we could be stalling up in these areas. So just make sure you know where you're going to get out and just secure some really good profits on it. Next up is Clay. So Clay is a layer 1, which is why I have it up here. Can we look at Lens original run? Oh gosh, I think it's monster. Yeah, we'll do it in a little bit. So this is not my favorite chart, but Clay is a layer 1. And this could be a base it's starting. Again, not my favorite. This isn't my favorite chart, but it's a layer one. It's kind of up there in the echelons too. It's number 48. So it's not like it's a 200 market cap rank coin. It's up here at 48. Maybe it'll do something. Just threw an alert at 1259 out of a double top right there. Nothing crazy though. Next up is Luna. All right, so here's Luna, not doing a whole lot versus BTC, but it did get a little bit of volume signature right there. 22606 alert level in a declining trend line here after holding pretty nicely the 20017. So good action right there overall. Next up is Mina. I'm going to finish up these charts real quick, guys, and I'll check comments out. All right, next up is Mina with a 2785. This is also a layer one, and this one has a cup and handle, and it looks pretty good. Good volume signature. A little low right now. I mean, I guess if you really liked Mina and you wanted to nitpick lows, you can probably give this an arbitrary 5% stop loss. But, I mean, you have to make it a small position size. 2785 is the alert level, though. Look at Mina's volume. Again, more blockbuster volume. Broke a really long withstanding downtrend on great volume. So you have to respect this chart, period. I mean, there's no way around it. This arguably could be a base on base pattern, too. We just saw that with, what was it? I don't know. We saw it earlier with something with a base. This could be a base on base pattern too. These are base on base patterns are very powerful when they blast off. So last one up is waves. Obviously, the coins that pop the biggest are the ones that are gonna kind of scream out the most. So 8218 was our alert for waves, consolidating right now. Let me throw an alert up here. Let's do the 11443. Okay. Let me update that. Sweet. All right, let's check out some comments. Yeah, look at Len's original run. And Loopy says, true accountancy Ethereum Classic like Doge, get out when it's time to get out. Yeah, you got to bail on that one. There's just, you just have to. All right, let's look at Aave's original run for context. This is Lend, by the Aave is Lend, and this is one of the monster runs in history. So yeah, from a low point here of 28, and then almost, I mean, there was really very few consolidations, and then all the way up into 529. So that's like a freaking 20x on that one. Just an absolute, just an amazing run for Lend. So, and this is what started DeFi right here, Lend. There were attempts prior, but Lend's the one that took. Yeah, we'll take a look at HTR. Sure. Against USD or BTT. I'm gonna do USD first. Yeah, right, Monkeytron. You and I are always on the same wavelength, bud. All right, let's take a look at HTR. Hey Thor, whatever the hell that is. Never heard of that one. Let me look at it real quick. I like to know what coin I'm looking at. We do the best, I think, when we have the whole picture, right, guys? I think we do. 327. So it's pretty low market cap. The heck does this? Blockchain for digital assets. Live Maze. So it's layer one. 200 plus TPS with no central coordinator or master nodes. Fork of Bitcoin. Interesting. Okay. It seems like it's a little late to the ball game, to be honest with you. There's other ones that do those and a little bit better. Let's take a look at the chart. So not too bad. I mean, this isn't the worst chart I've ever seen. It's not very good. Good support right there. Absolutely great support. And you're in a pretty low place. If the market's going to go into a pretty general uptrend, this isn't too bad. So you have your volume signatures really high on the sell pressure here. Look at how much selling's going on here. Yeah, VA tool pretty much red uh, this whole entire time. And we're not seeing a lot of accumulation coming out of this. I don't think it's a winner. Not from what it looks like right now. It's going to need a lot of accumulation. Has a bottoming candle right there, which is pretty good, but that one's pretty good too. But that's really meant that comes right after a couple extreme selling candles. So I don't think it's a winner. I don't think it's a leader. I don't think it's one you necessarily want to be jumping into right now. I do like the uptrend. That's pretty good. I mean, I guess it could go and try to do something. I wouldn't be dumping all your capital into it. Yeah. I mean, look, something's pumped from every now and then, but this is probably one of those. Let's say this gets to $5 or $10. Let's just say it does, okay? Because we're at 60 cents. Let's say this gets to $5 or $10. You're going to be holding this through a bunch of garbage action. It may go lower. I don't know what it's going to do, but you don't have any semblance or real good idea that it's going to do anything constructive. And from a fundamental standpoint, in terms of what it does, it seems to be in a busy. It seems to be 200 TPS. You're talking about Cardano doing 1 million TPS and Solana doing hundreds of thousands transactions per second. Why would they even mess with this at 200 TPS? I don't know what you're hoping for. It's nice to scale Bitcoin, but Litecoin does that. Dash does that. I mean, it's been done. I mean, if you were to list all the things that this has in a grid with other coins, it would not stand out. So I don't know. It'll get its move, everyone. When it comes to coins like this, what I say is just watch it. Watch it for better accumulation. There's really nothing special about it. Okay, so what do I got here? What's worth looking into? Or is that about it? That may be about it. Tesla's still positive. That thing just won't go down, will it? Jeez. Stalling a little bit, but not really. All right, so that's about it, guys. Let's wrap it up. I'm just going to wrap it up. All right, so wrapping up today. Just a reminder, I will not be here on Friday and on the 10th, which is in 2 Sundays. I think there's another day. You want to do stonks? We can do stonks. Didn't I do HNT? Oh, I'm sorry, I did not. Yeah, that's fine, Loopy. Let me wrap up real quick because the other stuff has nothing to do with wrap up. Yeah, so I won't be here on the 10th and on Friday. Other than that, we do the show 6 days a week right now. I don't do shows on Saturdays because my kids have soccer that I got to take them to. But yeah, so this is the Power Hour, guys. Every day you have me for an hour to ask any question you want, and you get my take on the market every single day. 65 bucks a month, but recently, if you didn't make 65 bucks in Cardano, Aave, freaking name it, Luna, I mean, you're doing something wrong. So if you're interested in the show, feel free to go to real-crypto.com and you can sign up in our services section over here, and you can get signed up over there. And we do the show every single day. So feel free to do that if you'd like. But yeah, so to wrap up, I think consolidating here would not be such a bad thing. I think there's definitely a yeah, that's a little too much. Pants and a shirt. We're getting to a point I think in BTC where we definitely could have a pullback of some sort. I don't think there's any problem with that. I think that that would be healthy, as a matter of fact. You can't go straight up forever. Sideways action would be good. Consolidations or a full-on blown base would be good. We got Aave killing it. We got Waves killing it, putting in minor topping action. So take profits on those if you want to. You can always rebuy, guys, but it's hard to resell. So make sure you're securing some of those profits if you see really good topping signatures. So. All right, what do we got now? So that's wrap up. We did have a couple other request PYR. I did. Did I do PYR? No. HNT. Let's do HNT. Yeah, so HNT had its day in the sun, and it's not today. Does kind of look a little bit like a cup and handle on the daily time frame. Yeah, it does kind of look a little bit like a cup and handle. Every dog's going to have its day. This one isn't running right now. 2596 probably could be an alert level on HNT. I think I'll throw it. So if you don't know what HNT is basically you buy some cellular networks and hook them into your internet, and you would end up providing, I guess, Wi-Fi to people driving, not Wi-Fi, but cellular to people driving down your house. And this is the coin that kind of makes that network run. You get paid in HNT. Actually, I don't have this against the dollar. I'll have to add it. All right, 2596 for HNT. PYR. Take a look at PYR. Okay. Vulcan Forged. I think I've seen this before. I don't remember what it is, though. Boeing is using H-bar? I That's weird. Okay. Okay. This not bad. This is a little bit better than most. Little bit. Unfortunately, we have a wick yesterday. Selling pressure on the VA tool. Um, that topping candle, that is all selling pressure right there. Look at that. That's where the selling stepped right up. So yeah, I'm not so sure on this one. It looks intriguing. I like the fact holding the trend line right there. And I think he's got work to do. It's got to get past that level, 1521. All right, thanks for the, yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, no problem. I think I'm gonna do more public shows. I need to get back in the mix here in YouTube. Try to be somewhat half-ass relevant to people. So we'll see. All right, guys. Hey, have a great day. I'm gonna bounce. Oh no, Monkey Tron want to do stocks. Sorry, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna bounce. I'm gonna do Monkey Tron wants stocks. We'll do stocks. So what are stocks doing? 8.6 for the Nasdaq, 5.1 for the S&P. So a little bit of topping action, a little bit of selling pressure, but really been able to. Guys, the Federal Reserve changed this market. Definitely a little bit more bullish. Look at the volume aggregation tool on the 2-hour. Selling pressure creeping in a little bit up here. You can see it in the chart as well. You got the S&P 500. Similar signature. Buying pressure drifting away a little bit. Yeah, right there. Transportation index. This is important. That is a good sign. That is a great sign. Transportation index with a bull flag breaking out. Very, very nice. Apple broke out from its declining trend line. That's got like 8 days. Wow, how many days does Apple have green in a row? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, 11 days if today closes green, which it probably will. That's 11 straight days for Apple. That's crazy. Microsoft, great chart. Tesla won't go down. Eating the crap. I'm a huge Tesla fan. Tesla's going to 10,000. Tesla's going to 10,000. We have models setting it to 26,000 by 2030. I have my target at half of that at 13,000. $13,000 Tesla. You got at least a 10x out of it. Even if you buy right now over the next 8 years. I know people kind of that's too long to make 8 or 10x. But if you've got a retirement account, just buy the damn stock. I mean, just doing amazing. Amazon doing really good here. Declining volume. We'll see what happens with this as it hits some resistance levels. But this reminds me a little bit of a Boeing chart I've done a lot of work on. If Amazon goes sideways here for like the rest of the year, I'm buying the shit out of this thing. And plus they're doing that. They're doing a 20-for-1 split. That may kill the stock, so we'll see how it goes. And ooh, Square. Look at Square. That is nice. I may have to buy me some Square. Square had some blockbuster moves out of lows. This thing got decimated with the market all the way back down. Huge volume bottom right here. That is huge volume. Now a bull flag. So I like that a lot. That's really good. Check out ExxonMobil. A bit of a head and shoulders top. Volume signature is wrong. Gold. Eee. Damn, gold bugs. Sorry. Silver. You know, I'm a member of a Wall Street Silver Reddit thread, whatever. God, it's a garbage thread. Backblaze. AMD, Nvidia. Nvidia looks like it's popping up a little bit. So market's doing fine. It's just it's gone up significantly. I think it's I don't know. We'll see. The market can just kind of nick its way higher by higher by higher. They like what the Fed did, so it's game on again. All right, guys, have a great day. I will see some of you tomorrow. Some of you I won't. I'll do some more public power hours, and yeah, I'll do some more public videos too. I gotta step my game back up again. Have a great day, everybody. Oh, the silver. Oh, it's. I'm not even gonna justify it. It's shoot. A lot of it's political. A lot. You know what it sounds like? You know what those stupid silver people sound like? Bitcoin people. They sound like Bitcoiners from, I mean, I guess even today, but they sound like big. I'm like, how are you guys going to dog on Bitcoin, but you're all in on silver like it's Bitcoin? It just makes no sense to me. And I like Bitcoin. I'm not dogging Bitcoin. I'm saying like everyone's like Lambo's like, what are you going to do when silver hits whatever? Like, I hope they're joking, but it's just stupid. It's literally stupid. Yeah, they sound like, you know, Bitcoiners, rocket ship moon memes, stuff like that. But obviously, they've never looked at the history of silver. They're pulled in via their political affiliation, which is going to cost them money. And I hope it doesn't. I hope they hold it forever and it goes up to $100 like they want. But it's only a four. Even if this goes to $100, it's like 4.5 times. It's 450%. You can't make life changing money with 450%. You just can't do it. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'm bouncing. I will see you all tomorrow.